I never believed a single evening could change the course of my life. At 29, living in a small apartment in Lisbon and working as a freelance photographer, I had settled into a routine so predictable it almost felt comfortable. Mornings started with quiet coffee, days with silent editing sessions, evenings with walks along the Tagus River. I told myself I preferred solitude, that it kept my mind clear, my work focused, but the truth was simpler. I didn't expect anything new to happen. Not anymore. That changed on the night I went out to photograph the city after a passing rain. The pavement was shining, the street lamps glowing in golden halos, and the smell of wet stone filled the air. I set up my camera near the old steps leading to a small square, adjusting the lens, when a soft laugh behind me made me turn. She was sitting on the stone rail, sketchbook balanced on her knees, completely absorbed in her drawing. Her coat was still dotted with raindrops, strands of dark hair sticking to her cheeks. Any other person would have looked cold, uncomfortable, but she looked alive, almost illuminated by the moment around her. "Not afraid of catching a cold?" I asked awkwardly, because something had to come out of my mouth. She lifted her eyes and her smile was the warmest thing I'd seen in months. "And you're not afraid of ruining your camera?" she replied. "Cameras can be dried," I said. "People, not so much." She laughed, a soft ringing sound I immediately wanted to hear again. "I'm Isabella," she said, offering her hand Alex. We talked for 10 minutes, but it felt like we'd known each other longer. She was an architect, visiting Lisbon temporarily to gather inspiration for a new project. She loved the city after rain. She said the colors became truer, the shadows more honest. I didn't tell her, but I was thinking the same about her. She looked honest, real, entirely unfiltered. Over the next few days, we met again. Sometimes by accident, sometimes because one of us subtly suggested returning to the same square. We walked through narrow alleys filled with the smell of pastries, listened to street musicians playing near the cathedral, and ended up talking about everything: art, home, fears, dreams. I photographed the city, but my camera kept drifting toward her. The curve of her smile, the concentration in her eyes as she sketched, the delicate movements of her hands. She made my quiet life feel suddenly full, as if someone had opened a window in a room I didn't realize was stuffy. But good things come with shadows, and hers appeared the morning she told me she had only 1 week left in Lisbon. We were sitting in a small cafe overlooking the tram tracks. She stirred her coffee without drinking it, her expression strangely distant. "I don't like temporary things," she finally said. "Then don't treat this like one," I answered too quickly. She sighed. "Alex, everything in my life is waiting for me back in Milan. My work, my responsibilities. And your life is here." I didn't know what to say. The fear of losing her pressed against my ribs like a tightening band. We sat in silence, the kind that hurts because it says too much. The night before her flight, I returned to the place where we first met. I wasn't expecting her to come. But she did. She approached slowly, her eyes shining with something between sadness and hope. Before she could speak, I took a small photo from my pocket. It was the first picture I ever took of her looking up from her sketchbook in the rain, just moments after we met. I handed it to her. "You said you came here for inspiration," I told her. "But maybe what we found was something more important." Her breath caught. "Are you asking me to stay?" I swallowed. "I'm asking you not to walk away from this, from us." She didn't answer right away. Instead, she stepped closer, close enough that I could feel the warmth of her, even in the cool evening air. Then she wrapped her arms around me and whispered into my shoulder, "Then I won't." A month later, she found a position at a Lisbon architecture studio. I moved my workspace into a shared creative loft she helped design. We still walk the same rain-washed streets, still visit the little square with the stone rail, still talk late into the night like nothing in the world matters more. And every time she rests her head on my shoulder, I remember that sometimes a single moment, a laugh in the rain, a stranger on a stair, is all it takes to rewrite a life.